Are you looking for quick tips and tricks to finally feel yourself confident? Did you go through a breakup and right now you would like to get back your self-esteem? Sadly, I must share with you bad news already in the beginning of this video. There are no quick tips and tricks if you would like to feel yourself confident instantly. For sure, there are actions which can be implemented into your life immediately, but sadly, none of these will give you instant confidence. So why do I say such a demotivating thing? Bear with me, I will explain everything to you. I think before we get into the details, it might worth to understand what confidence means. The word confidence comes from the Latin word fidere, which means trust. Following this logic, self-confidence means that you can trust in yourself. Building trust takes time, and it can't happen within a few days. There are different things which can speed up or slow down the process, but building trust takes time. And this fragile bond of trust can be shattered within a blink of an eye if we don't have patience. When we try to gain trust in ourselves or in our relationships, we must be patient. Otherwise, everything can turn into the wrong direction. Now we can say self-confidence builds up as chain of acts, which results more and more trust in yourself. In the end, the higher your trust level is, the more confident you feel yourself. So what kind of actions can finally help you to build up confidence slowly? Let me share with you 4 tips. Tip 1. Look for challenges. Building confidence takes courage and curiosity. Without these, you won't be able to leave your comfort zone where the magic can happen. Comfort zone is the area where you feel yourself safe and you can do everything with an ease because all kinds of actions are familiar to you. In this zone, you can manage all kinds of tasks easily because you know how to make a coffee, how to dishwash your plates and so on. So we can say that you are confident in this kind of area. Imagine that one day you decide that you would like to gain extra confidence in this kind of zone. So what can you do? Maybe you can start to do the task way faster than before. Maybe you can start to mix them together and finalize them in parallel. Of course, there are opportunities which can set up new challenges for you. But in the end, you already know that you can manage these kind of tasks with an ease. The results? Maybe you can give a try for these actions, but in the end, you will gain only a small piece of confidence. Actually, we can say that this is not a good investment. You need to invest too much time and energy to figure out how you can mix or speed up the actions that I have mentioned to gain a small piece of confidence. All in all, we can say that this is a bit of problematic, so we need to find other opportunities how you can build confidence. So instead of seeking further challenges in comfort zone, it's more reasonable to find something interesting outside of your comfort zone. And sadly, this is the point where most of the people don't want to see the growing opportunity because they are fully confident in their comfort zone and they don't want to leave it. The mentioned kind of people only see obstacles and problems outside of their comfort zone, and questions can be raised like, what happens if I fail? Everybody will laugh on me. Why should I leave my comfort zone? I am happy that I already can do everything with an ease at this place. Why should I seek for new experiences? I am already happy with what I have. As I mentioned in the beginning of this tip, building confidence takes courage and curiosity, and if you don't have the intention to leave your comfort zone, you will never figure out how much you are capable of. Just think about it, how many successes and achievements you miss because you are afraid of leaving your comfort zone. You must be curious about your limitations, and I think this is the beauty of life. We might never figure out the answers, but it can motivate you during the rest of your life. To wrap up this tip, if you would like to build up confidence, sometimes you need to force yourself to leave your comfort zone and look for new challenges. Even if this place is cozy and friendly, it limits your possibilities and potentials. Gladly, when you finally take the courage and you leave your comfort zone, you will realize sooner or later that you can manage all the new stuff what you are doing at the moment with an ease. In the end, your comfort zone will expand slowly and you will become familiar with more and more things, and all of that will gain you a small piece of confidence over and over again. Tip 2. Believe in yourself. Imagine that you were just born and you don't have any experience yet. In the beginning, you are relying on your parents because you are not able to do anything by yourself. But as time passes, you gain new and new experiences. You start to take your first steps, you start to play with your toys because you are curious. You want to discover the world and you are curious about nearly everything. You would like to know what's going on around you. And this is the point where I can highlight once again the importance of the first tip: curiosity and courage. But here is one thing what you don't do as a baby. You don't doubt yourself. I mean, we don't know exactly what's going on in a baby's head, but I'm quite sure they don't question themselves all the time if they do the right thing or not. As we grow older, more and more doubts can raise in our head, which can be fine. On the other hand, it is not okay when you don't believe in yourself. When we are afraid of something or we are lacking of curiosity, we try to convince ourselves why it is not worth to give a try. Like we start to feel that we are not in the best shape of our life at the moment, and we decide that we should visit the gym a couple of times a week. With this kind of decision, we should be already proud of ourselves because we would like to do something for our health, and we should visit the gym with a smile on our face. But most of the time, we don't convince ourselves with such a thing, but rather we start to collect as many things as we can why this is not a good idea. The list of excuses can be endless. We can mention here that the gym membership is expensive, we don't enjoy the music there, we don't feel the urge to work out, we will get tired after the first session, and the list can be continued. And what happens afterwards? After a few attempts, we might give up visiting the gym and we find ourselves once again in the comfort zone. Hello comfort zone, I miss you so much. The same can happen if we are going through difficulties in life. From my perspective, my first breakup was very rough. I felt that I cannot do anything on my own, and without my partner, I won't be able to live. My self-esteem was so low that I had these kind of silly thoughts, and I believed in them. Of course, life didn't stop, and it took me 1 year to finally gain back my self-confidence, and in the end, I became even stronger, as I was so proud that finally I was able to get out of my self-pity. It is true, what doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, and also you will gain a lot of confidence. All in all, always believe in yourself and don't try to convince yourself that you are not able to do anything. You are a strong, unique person, and even if you feel that you sometimes fail, that doesn't mean that that's the reality. Most of the time, self-perception creates more obstacles than the reality itself. So instead of thinking all day, just take actions and believe in yourself. Tip 3. Stop comparing yourself to others. Nothing can decrease confidence more than comparing yourself to others. Nowadays, it became especially difficult because social media plays an important role in our life. We tend to see everywhere happy couples, beautiful bodies, Ferraris and yachts. Social media drastically can affect the confidence of an average person, especially when you see every day where your friends are or your role models at the moment. In fact, lack of confidence comes from the gap where you are at the moment and where you think you should be. And honestly, social media plays a big part of this, because it can convince us that we must be a millionaire and a super grateful person who fulfilled all of their dreams by the age of 30. And if you don't belong to this group, well, you must feel yourself insecure because you haven't achieved anything in your life. Actually, we already know that on these platforms everybody would like to show their best possible versions. And it is not hard to fall into this kind of social media trap. And even if you don't check these kind of social media platforms all the time, still they can affect the way you compare yourself to others. Certainly, we can't blame fully Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because before these kind of platforms even existed, people still compare themselves with each other. Now think about it for a second. Are there any benefits if you are comparing yourself to others? Personally, I think most of the time there are no real benefits, but rather disadvantages. Of course, there are unique examples when comparison can be beneficial, like when you try to compare yourself to a truly good person, but as I mentioned, it's quite rare. So when you decided that you once again would like to feel yourself confident, then take my advice and stop comparing yourself to others permanently. You can start to check social media less often, and it's also worth to find your trigger points which can fuel your urge of comparison. Moreover, it can be beneficial if you can learn to see through the surface and understand why certain people do certain things. Maybe all the people who you are following on these kind of social media platforms are the ones who are constantly seeking for attention because they are lacking of confidence, and if they don't get any external feedback, they might feel themselves unworthy. Lastly, you can always be grateful for all the things that you have achieved, instead of always focusing on getting more and more, even if society tells us that this is the way it should be. Tip 4. Just do it. The last tip I would like to share with you if you would like to be more confident is the simplest one that you ever heard. And this is just do it. This simple slogan is more powerful than it seems. Sometimes the best we can do if we don't overcomplicate things, but rather take actions without any hesitation. Being more spontaneous can be especially beneficial when we would like to build up confidence. Just try to live by this sentence for only one single day, and I guarantee that will be an excellent day. How many times do we say no to something because we decided within a few seconds that we don't want to do this specific thing? Even if our partner convinces us why it is worth to give a try, we still resist. We already made the decision in our head before the question was raised. And sometimes this is not the right approach if you would like to build up confidence. Even if we don't feel ourselves brave or curious, this simple rule, just do it, can override everything. It is very similar movie to The Yes Man with a roleplay of Jim Carrey, where he decides to accept every kind of opportunity which come to his way. Many exciting and new things can happen when you are finally able to say yes to all the things which come to your way. Sometimes it is easier to take actions than spend too much time with thinking. And honestly, it might happen that this is all what we need if we would like to build up confidence. Just take actions before you think twice, jump into the unknown, and let's see what happens. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed these 4 tips that I have shared with you how to build up confidence. And if you enjoyed, don't hesitate to subscribe, share my previous videos, leave a comment, and see you next time.